Hey everyone, and welcome. Now, before we get into the thick of it, if you could just take a quick second to subscribe and click that notification bell, that would be amazing. And hey, while you're at it, a like and a comment really do go a long way in supporting what we do here. It helps a ton. All right, so let's just jump right in with the question that's really at the heart of everything we're talking about today. Could a robot ever truly be the perfect companion? And I'm not just talking about some gadget that fetches your slippers. I mean a real, genuine companion. It feels like something straight out of science fiction, right? But as you're about to see, this idea is moving out of the movies and into our world, and it's happening faster than you might think. So to really explore this, we're not just going to talk in hypotheticals. No, we're going to look at a very real, very specific piece of technology that's right on the cutting edge of this whole thing. So let's get introduced to a robot by the name of MiRo. Okay, so here it is. At first glance, MiRo kind of looks like a cute, futuristic pet, maybe a cross between a dog and a rabbit. But seriously, don't let that friendly face fool you. This is an incredibly sophisticated piece of robotic engineering. It was designed from the ground up for one critical purpose: to completely change the game for home healthcare. It's just a perfect example of how technology is being created to solve some of our most human and most difficult challenges. So what can it actually do? Well, this is where it gets really interesting. This isn't just some abstract tech. It's designed to make a real-world difference every single day. First off, MiRo literally lives with its owner 24/7, and over time it learns all their daily routines. It also monitors their movements, which can be huge for reducing accidents like falls. It's also like a personal assistant, reminding you about taking your medicine or when you have an appointment. It can even help with social stuff, like remembering the names of visitors, which, is really about helping people maintain their dignity. And maybe most importantly, if there's a medical emergency, it can call for help instantly. It's a guardian, an assistant, and a companion, all rolled into one. And really, this quote from our source material just nails it. The key word here is revolutionize. We're not talking about making a few small improvements here and there. The whole vision for MiRo is about completely transforming elder care. And it's built on 3 pillars, right? Making life easier with all that assistance, making it safer with constant monitoring, and, this is the big one, making it far more enjoyable by tackling that huge problem of loneliness. Okay, so we've seen what MiRo can do, and it's pretty impressive, right? But that brings us to an even bigger question. Why? Why is this technology even being developed? Is this just a cool gadget somebody invented, or is it something that society actually genuinely needs? Well, the argument is it's an inevitable necessity. And the core reason for that, it all comes down to this major demographic trend, the progressively aging population. This is happening in tons of countries, like Japan and the United States. And all it really means is that, on average, the population is getting older. Now, people living longer is an incredible achievement, of course, but it creates this massive logistical challenge. How in the world do we provide care and support for a rapidly growing number of older citizens? Because that big demographic shift leads directly to this critical problem. Our social services, they're already stretched to the absolute breaking point. There simply aren't enough human caregivers to go around. Not enough nurses, not enough aides, not even enough family members with the time to provide that constant support that so many people need. It's a fundamental gap between the need for care and our ability to provide it. And this slide just lays it all out, side by side. On the left, you have the challenge. Social services are completely overwhelmed, and this often leads to terrible loneliness and isolation for the elderly. Then on the right, you have the proposed solution. Robots like MiRo are designed to ease that burden on the system. They provide that 24/7 monitoring and, just as importantly, that constant companionship. You see, the idea isn't to replace humans, but to fill a critical gap that we as a society are really struggling to deal with. But here's the thing. This idea of robotic assistance, it isn't just about elder care, not by a long shot. MiRo is kind of like the opening act for a much, much bigger show. We are heading straight into what a lot of people are calling the coming age of robots, a time when having them in our daily lives and our jobs is just normal. So let's zoom out. We're leaving the living room and heading into the workplace. And this image, it really shifts the conversation, doesn't it? We've gone from the pet-like MiRo to a full-on humanoid assistant. It makes you start thinking bigger. What tasks in your job could a robot take over? And maybe more importantly, how would that change the work that's left for us humans to do? This table is such a great way to think about this potential division of labor. So let's take the hotel clerk. A robot would be perfect for accuracy, for recalling information, for handling check-ins flawlessly every time. But what about handling a really complex, emotional complaint from a guest? That's going to take a human touch. Or think about a nurse. A robot is perfect for the routine stuff, monitoring vitals, scheduling medication. But the empathy needed to comfort a scared patient, or the complex intuition for a tough diagnosis, that's uniquely human. And with a teacher, sure, a robot could run drills all day long, but can it inspire creativity? Can it offer real emotional support? The big takeaway isn't about replacement. It's about partnership, reassigning tasks to whoever or whatever does them best. And that brings us to this quote, which, I gotta say, really made me pause. We all kind of expect a robot to be more accurate. That makes sense. But the idea that it might actually be friendlier? That's fascinating. I mean, think about it. A robot is never having a bad day. It's never tired or stressed. It's programmed to be endlessly patient and polite. So, could that actually create a better customer experience than dealing with a stressed-out human? It really makes you wonder what we truly want from these interactions. Is it a genuine connection or just a pleasant and efficient result? And so all of this, from MiRo in the living room to a robot assistant at work, it all brings us back to one massive final question. This technology is coming, and it's coming fast. It promises to solve some of our biggest societal problems and create efficiencies we can only dream of. But are we really ready for the robot touch? Are we ready for what it means to share our homes, our jobs, and our lives with these incredibly sophisticated machines? Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like, and leave a comment to support the channel.